Hi, Release Fire here, so I'm going to talk you through how to build a car in Lego Fortnite. The craziness is you can actually build a car. It doesn't have loads and loads of utility, but it is a lot of fun, and with all the devices, you can use it to get to places a little bit quicker, but you'll find out at the end that there are some limitations to take into account. Now, I'm doing this in Sandbox Mode because you'll need to unlock all of these items in the main game if you're going to use them in survival mode. Now, if you don't know how to progress in survival mode, you can check out the video linked above that will show you how to get more villagers. And that's the exact same process for how to unlock recipes. And that should get you all of these items in survival mode. Eventually, it takes a hell of a lot of effort, but when you've got them, you'll be able to use them in survival mode. But for now, use the dynamic foundation, and then you use a large wheel. You can use the small wheels, but I just kind of find the large wheels easier to build cars with. You attach it to one corner, and then you attach it to the other corner on the other side, and you can see each time one of those goes in, it raises the dynamic foundation up, and then it does take a little bit to kind of place all these items exactly where you want to. So you might need to get your pickaxe out to delete them every now and again, or move them around until you're happy with them. But once you've got all four wheels on, you'll see that the car starts to roll, and no amount of pushing it will stop it. However, you can go back into your items and just drop a wooden crate behind it, and that should stop it from rolling down a hill. It will take damage when it hits things. That's kind of one of the limitations you should be aware of. So it's a good idea to give it a little bit of protection until you give it a maiden voyage. And then you can see here, I'm just showing you that you can delete items by just smashing them with your pickaxe, and then you can put the other wheel in place, and that's your four wheels. However, that's a short car. What we want is a kind of a longer thing, and you can extend it with things like the wooden foundation or any other foundations that'll extend it outwards, and then you can put more wheels further down and then go in and delete the ones in the middle. So you've only got the four wheels, and you've got quite a nice lengthy car that looks a bit more like a car rather than some kind of tiny little box thing. Anyway, once you've extended it out and you've deleted the wheels, you can then start building on top of it to make it look a little bit more car-like. Things are quite blocky at the moment in Lego Fortnite. Hopefully, they'll develop it and add in more options so you can play around with this in a bit more detail. But things like the floor slates, you can add some of those to be able to add a little bit more layering to the base of the car so that it's not just entirely the foundations. And then you can also do things like walls. You can use those to add a little bit more structure. Like I said, it's still quite blocky. It's very difficult to get around that. If you do manage to find some really good hacks, drop them in the comments for everybody. But you can also put in furniture like these seats so that you got some seats. Sadly, you can't actually sit down in Lego Fortnite, which again is one of those things like nice to haves that hopefully they'll develop. And then you've got to put in an activation switch and drop it somewhere where you can easily kind of turn the car on. And then if you wanted to, you can extend it even further at the front to give it a crazy nose plate, like this giant roof piece, which took me absolutely ages to get to go in at the front. And that is mostly done. It's looking pretty decent, but you also need to put in some thrusters. And with my first car, I wanted to go big, so that's 8 thrusters on the back. That'll get the job done. And then with the thrusters in, you're pretty much ready to hit the switch. But like I said earlier, there's some limitations for you to be aware of, and most of them are around things that get in your way. You don't just smash through everything that you see. Instead, they will smash your car up. You do kind of go through a few of the smaller things, but you won't just smash through all of the trees. It doesn't matter how many thrusters you put on the back. There are definitely some limitations. So if you really want to get a good route, then you might want to plan in advance and clear some of the things that are in your way to give yourself a really nice long run. Otherwise, it's going to be a really short run like mine was, and the car got totally destroyed. But that is how to build a car in Lego Fortnite. And if the video helps you out, drop a like below, subscribe with the link on the left-hand side, leave me a comment. Like I said, put any tips you have about building a car in the comments. You can also check out the rest of my guide for Lego Fortnite with the links on the right-hand side, and I will catch you next time.